this is very, very important actually, because though we are working on the environments, right? So let's say any cloud. So we used to play with key and value pair. So whenever you want to play with key and value pair, so one of the widely used data structure is dictionaries. And when it comes to dictionaries, you need to understand how to access the data. Let's say access keys, access the values, right? So for example, let me create a small dictionary. Let's say my dict. My dictionary equal to, for example, I had two strings A and B. A is mapped to 1, value 1, and key B mapped to value 2, right? So this you already aware. So dictionary, what is a dictionary? A dictionary is a combination of key and value pair. So the starting one, like no left side to the colon, we used to call this a key, and right side one is value. And the dictionary items are separated with comma. Understood. So in this, how many items we have in dictionary? So don't confuse that four items. No, because we only have two items. Because these two consider as one, key and value pair consider as one, other key and value pair considers two. Like, got it? So since it's separated with comma, now it is two. If you add, for example, let's say, if I add one more, three. Got it? So in this particular case, what really happened? So here you are seeing, key and value pair, right? So three keys are there and three values are there, right? Got it. So when you're working on the dictionaries, so what is really important? You need to get the keys, you need to get the values. And for example, you are expecting, use case also. Think about this, or get the values of a dictionary, right? So how we can get it actually? Based on key, right? Key based. For example, so I would say directly, in order to print value 3. So say, or directly write, say here, what is my dict of value is mapped with C, right? And if you go and trigger this out, so you got 3. How? Because C is mapped to value 3 value. Got it? And so think about this. So this can be done in two ways. One is directly with key name, and second one also we can try, we can get it with for example, let's say, if it is available, fine. For example, let's say in the same case, key does not exist, for example. So the same says, when I do this in application, right? In application, you might expect something, and which might get or might not get. Understood? So your application in a position to handle it, right? See, in this case, this is a good case where keys exist in the dictionary, and if does not exist, for example. So if I trigger this, did you see key error? So value keys, see key error. This is D. Understood. So in application, if you see this error, meaning what? Your application got crashed. Got it? So your application crashed because D value key, sorry, key D is not present. So how we are going to handle this? So to handle this, I put some comment here. Okay. While run testing out, key D not exist. Got it? Now to handle it, this kind of code. So we have get method. Understood. So how we do? So print, or directly you can print, my dict What is the dictionary name? MyDict dot. So if you see, there are so many methods are there, so many methods are there. So you just ignore all the methods which underscore, but we would only focus on this. Understood? These are the dictionary methods. So there is method called get. Did you see this? Get. Dictionary name dot get. If I use this get method and if I pass the key, for example, let's say this time I'm passing a good case again. Good key in the sense in the sense uh, in the sense keep key C presents. Got it? And what I'll do is I'll just comment this out. I think instead of having this, I'll do one thing. I'll comment this out so that it will be more easy to look. Yeah, got it. So here in this case, this is a good case. When I go and trigger, still you are seeing value 3. Got it? And if you change slightly, if you do the same thing, and this time if you say D, right, and I'm moving this portion of this code to commented block. So in this case, what did you see? So key D is not present, but still, if it fails also no problem. It fails, it would return what? None. You got it? So this time it will not fail. Did you understand? So this in this case, it would not return. It would not return. It would not fail, but instead, if not, it will come with a none by default none actually. Understood? So you can also say, hey, if some key is not present, set some default value. Even you can set some default value, guys. That is also possible. Understood? So how this can be possible? So here you can put some default value. So if you're not mentioning anything, it would be none. Otherwise, see, you can do like this also. So by default, it is a value. Even if I do this, you are still saying none, right? By default, there is a value. So whatever the value we keep here, that will go. In the real time also, for example, we might expect some dictionary. Sorry, we might expect some list. Let's say, think about this scenario. Uh, Forget about. Okay, let me do one thing. I'll keep it here. Let me provide some good case where we can, let's say, my dict equal to, so here, mobiles. Mobiles, for example, think about it, think about this. There are in this, how many items are there in the dictionary? Who can answer this quickly? Perfect. So here, my dictionary of, now, for example, let's say my dictionary dot get, right? And what is the key name here? Mobiles. Understood? Got it? And currently it is available. For example, let's say if you go and trigger this out, you are seeing all the three values of the mobile company, correct? And imagine there are one more where uh, okay, in the same case, so there is a first item, and the second item is comma fruits. Oh, I should bet fruits colon. Let's say uh, no. Imagine there is no fruits. Understood. So like this, mobile is this. When I do this, I can get this information. When fruit list, I'm also expecting including mobile list. I'm also expecting the same list with the fruits. Understood? So when it comes to fruits, let's say print. So application required um, list. Okay. So fruits. See, if fruits found, it should get me. Otherwise, what we should do? We should set by default as what? Empty fruits. See, mobiles list, right? This is a list data. And if the fruits are not listed out here in this case, so what we should set? We should not set something else, right? I'm not expecting some none, because see, mobiles, which means collection, fruits again collection in the sense that which can hold a number of data. So in the mobile case, we have taken out we have defined that it's a list of information, and even for fruits it should be list of information. If something is not present by default based on the data, for example, here mobiles, and for example fruits, and let's say there are for example price, for example, let's say, so price is what? Just number. Price is none, or just say 100, for example. So imagine if price is not there, so based on the data only we will set some default value, guys. You're getting my point, right? For example, let's say if fruits are not there, so fruits dot, if fruits list is not there, then hey, give me defaultly empty tuple, sorry, empty list. You got it? So if I go and trigger this is what expecting in the real time. Now did you understood? So if the fruit list is not defined in this, it would give me empty. For example, let's say price, if the price is not given, so here price is there. Based on the data type, we will set, for example, let's say it is an integer, for example. So price we will always keep if it is not nothing found, for example. So we will set some default value. You understood? So let's say, for example, um, country. So country, nothing was there. Imagine there is no, currently it is India, and let's say country is fine. If say state is not there, so state is what? I cannot put some integer number for a state, right? State can be, let's say, for example, Telangana, like Bangalore, for example. So whatever it is, right? So what we can do is, for those values we should set some default value. We should be very clear, because that value will be used in the later in the program. You got it? So think about this, right? For item n, now I want to go over here. So if I want to go over this, for example, let's say, think about this here. Print hello, for example, right? In this case, right? In this case, see, fruits by default, what it is giving actually. If fruit present, it was right, empty list. If not empty list, what is the problem? So who can tell? Right? No, right. So here in this case, what is the default value? If you are not mentioning anything in default value, what is the default value? None. So meaning it does not even see for loop. What is syntax for item? For item in, what is this? This should be iterable object, right? Iterable. Priyanka, you got it? What happened here? Because see, it would fail since current in this statement it would fail. What is the error? What is the error name? Who can tell me what will be the error name? Key error. No, it's not a key error, right? Because just now I have shown you. So here this would how this would happen? My dictionary dot get, this is a key. So this would result me none for item in none. You got it? So this is not happy. If I trigger this, it would say, hey, it's a type error. Why? Because none type object is not iterable. Because this will translate to none, isn't it? Yeah, makes sense, right? So in order to solve this, because see, based on certain value, we will perform certain actions. So this is really important when you're working on the dictionaries. So when you want to access the key and value pair, it's important to use get method. And like Priyanka, you understood. So uh, during during decorative concept, you have we this get is a strange guy for you, isn't it? When you're when you are getting into that. Yeah. So that's where this is really important, right? And this is one method. And in this dictionary, we will also extensively use other methods. One second, let me put. Now you guys are comfortable with get method. How get method being used, isn't it? All right. Next one is I think we can use. There is one more we use extensively in dictionaries, right? Keys, keys. Yeah. For example, my dict equal to. I think I'll do one thing quickly. I'll just go through the one example. Then we will run through all the real time examples. Let's say A colon 1, B colon 2, for example, and say one more, C colon 3. Got it? And so this is very important. Now we define a dictionary, and if you want to get data, you already we already played, and one next method is keys method. So what this will do is, if you apply print, it would get you all the keys in a list format. You got it? Let's say mydit dot keys. So what it will do is, it will collect all the keys from the dictionary and store them in a list. Make sense? If I trigger this, you would understand. Dictionary keys. Actually, it would store in the store in the form of list. That's clear. Understood? Huh? So this is what keys method we do. And in the same way, if you want to get all the values, so you can directly say print mydic dot. So the method name is, you are saying right, values here. See, this would get me all the values from the dictionary. This would make sense, right? Now you understood, right, how it is working. Perfect. Yep. And next, one more thing, you can get both also. So for example, you want to get both. See, this is to get only keys, this is to get only values, right? If you want to get both in a list, if you want to get both in a tuple, it will come. I'll show you. So the method name is items. So print mydic dot items. So what this will do is, this will get all the all the key and value pair in a list only, and here list of tuples. So tuple, what is the key? A, comma, what is the value of it? 1. Next, one more tuple, B, and value is 2. One more tuple, C, value is 3. Guys, make sense? Yeah. If I trigger this, you would see. Got it? You will get tuple of key and value pair. Got it? Yeah. Next one is we can mm, pop item. Pop item. Pop is there. Pop also there. Pop. Um, I think yeah, pop. That we can use pop. We don't use see. These are the widely used ones. Uh, Pop method. Pop is not widely used in general, but let's quickly do that. If you want to remove the item based on the key, right, we can do this. So print, not print, sorry. We want to do it right, pop. Um, if you want to do value, or say not required to store. My dictionary dot, for example, two are there. Pop is what, let's say if I provide the uh, for example A, can you remove B, for example? Can you pop B? Which means what? A, now we are destroying this key. See, once you destroy key, automatically value also will be not referred. You got it? When you remove this key, this will go this will go away. Your dictionary only have what? A and C only. Makes sense, huh? After pop, print, after popping B, my dictates. I'm just printing out what it is. Uh, my dict. Did you see? After popping my dict, it is because we popped it. We popped here. You got it? We removed. If you want to remove something, from the dictionary, we can use pop method. Remove B key from the dictionary. Understood? Yeah. Next one. Next one we can. What is the next one? Let's quickly check what is pop. Yeah, pop item, right? Right. So when you do a pop item, so in general, when it comes to here, so what pop and pop in a list? If you don't specify anything, it would delete the last item in the list, right? The same here also. So when we are using pop without any pop item, right? Pop item will not take any key. What it does is it deletes the last key pair, last pair from the dictionary. Got it? So when I do this, now who can tell me what will be the output? No. Perfect. Reason? Perfect. Right. Got it? So Pop also you understood, right? Naveen Superman. All right. Next is sometimes, right, we need to what we can do is we need to add some key. Let's say now we had my dict, right? Now um update the dictionary, or yeah, update the dictionary with some value, with with some key, for example, update dictionary with some key, um, with some dummy key, but programmatically we might update, for example. Okay, so for that, what we can do is mydict dot. There is something called set default here. We use this also extensively, guys. Set default, but so initially we will define something. Let's say D, for example. Now I'm adding D, and defaultly I'm setting, let's say D is D to 5, for example. You got it? Now what I'm doing, set default, meaning whether whether it is available or not. If it is novel, if it is what we can say. Uh, Actually, what happened when it is there? For example, let's say, for example, already A is there. Now I'm just making A. Here, what I'm doing, my dictionary set default A colon 5, for example. So if I do this, what happens is it gets updated. If I go back here, did you see this? No, lost. Okay, sorry, my bad. If the keys exist, then it will not update. Key A is already has. some value. So it will not update. Okay. Now in the same case here, for example, D. Now D is there. Uh, since D key, okay, since D key not present, right? So it creates new key and value pair, new key and pair. Got it. So if I go ahead and trigger this now did you say this? I tried this, but it didn't still say still A has one only as set default would update only for new values, new case. Yeah, makes sense. Any doubt in this, guys? Got it? Okay. Next one is one more important method. So for doing this, see currently what we have done, we updated one key and value pair, right? Using set default. So set default also we will use extensively, guys. Understood? And one more important method is update method. So actually update method update the dictionary. Actually it is update method is widely used one. It takes another it takes another dictionary and extends the current 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 dictionary. For example, let's say mydic dot update, right? See mydic dot update. If you look at this, yeah. So generally, when it comes to update, right, we can give direct like this. Let's say so key colon, for example, 10 f colon 20 d colon 30. Guys, did you got it? And here now, so what we are doing? It is similar like extend method in list, isn't it? My dict. So when we do this, what it does, guys, did you understood? So previous until this point, with it like it. See, one of the important thing is we should always understand how the data is getting updated or removed. It's very important. We should keep track of it. So you should not think that hey, my dictionary is this. When you are doing this, again, it is performing on this because no, right? The reason is very simple. Your dictionaries keep updated in multiple stages. You are doing here, you are popping out here, you are also popping out here. You got it? Your dictionaries keep getting updated. So that's why it does not have, though it is initialized with ABC keys with some appropriate values, but A and B got removed or updated during the program execution. So that's why you don't see, B and C. Make sense? Yes, clear, huh? You're fine with it. All right. Next one is copy method. Uh, One of the important thing is, yeah. So okay, let me do. I think I'll comment this because This is also one of the important concept. I just want to make it with separate examples. All right. So copy method. Before let's understand. That's okay. My dictionary equal to. Now what I'm doing, I'm creating sorry, I'm creating a new dictionary. 1:20, 2:30, comma 3 : for example 40. Got it? And if I do, let's say my dict copy equal to. So what I'm doing is I'm just copying this dictionary. So what is the dictionary? My dict dot. If you see there is something called copy, right? S- Right. So what I'm doing here, my dict my dict and my dict copy. Got it? So here, if you look at this, so now my dict is one variable and my dict copy. I copied into something else, or let's say copied dict. If you look at this, you will understand properly actually. Now there is something called here. When it comes to here, in this case, even it's an interview question actually. So what is the difference between shallow copy and deep copy? That's the question they will ask. And for this, to explain them right. So here, my dict. Okay, when you print my dict, you could clearly see that whatever the value assigned here or defined, it would be printed out. And when it comes to copied one, since it is also same copy, isn't it? It would also printed same thing. Understood? Now, so for example, now what you are doing is you are changing. Let's say now you are updating. How we can update? How we can update a dictionary value by using key only, right? So for example, let's say I want to update one value to 200, for example. Now what will happen? Now after this update, print. Let's say after dictionary update, right? So print my dict and copy dict, for example. In this case, right? If you see what will happen after update, what will happen? It updated the first dictionary. We got it. So why? Because my dict one only we updated, right? Yeah, my dict one is updated. And how about, for example, let's say now just try to do reverse ulta. Copy dict, copy dict of one, copy dict of one equal to 100, for example. So when you do this, what really is happening? It is doing, so wherever we are getting up, wherever we are updating it. So simply it is copied the data there only, and it keeps the other one as it is, right? You got it. So when it comes to copy, like it is there's a concept called shallow copy and deep copy. So let's quickly explain you one more way. Um, say once again, let's quickly browse for this one. I think it should work as a shallow copy. Dict dot uh, dict dot copy is shallow copy, or it should be a shallow copy only generally. It returns shallow copy of the original dictionary. In other words, it uses the original different reference to create a new dictionary and does not make any changes in the original elements. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, this is where why updating shallow copy dictionary does not update original dictionary copy duplicate. Yeah, so here. Got it? For example, A1, 2, that's fine. We have taken a copy and they have updated. But if you see, it is only updated in the original. Wherever original is this, okay, because they only made update in the new, right? Added C there. Got it? So I assume this would be update for the original and add C colon 3 since I was doing shallow copy if it this. That's where, you know. Uh, no, that's a catch here because when it is doing shallow copy, right, this become hmm, mhm. No, this is kind of see, just want to understand in general, right? So it is shallow copy. So shallow copy means it would both the objects are refer to the same object. Okay. See, let me tell you quickly because this is linked to a list, right? Let's say import copy. Let's say I had a list, or directly no, as we have just seen, right? So in general, how is supposed to be working, right? We should say a equal to 1 to 3 and b equal to a. So here the concept is shallow copy. Shallow copy means both a and b are pointing to same address. So let me quickly tell you how it is working. For example, if I use paint or anything is fine. So imagine this, right? And if I do this here, got it. And if you look at this example, right? This is like a list, correct? So if we go here, certain section, understood. And I want to keep some, make it bold. Understood. So here, and when it comes to Python, what is this? Namespace, right? And what is the other one? So first one is namespace, right? And this is object space. Okay, all right. So when you write like this, a equal to, for example, here you define a equal to this dictionary, right? Sorry, list of 1 to 3, and b equal to a. So what does really mean is a and b. So here a, b. So what really happening? Both are pointing to the same address space. Did you understood what I'm meaning? What I'm trying to say? So both are pointing to same address space. You got it? Which means changing of a or changing of b, both are reflecting. See, if you if you are updating a, let's say if you are adding something to a, or if you are removing something to b, for example, so the reflection will be on both. Did you understood why? Because a and b both are pointed to the same address, same values. Got it? So let me quickly help you out. So here a dot, let's say now a dot extend, for example, extend list of 456, for example. Now after extending, if you just print a and print b, what did you observe? Guys, what it will be same, right? Because so why because the even the question, guys, interview question, what is a shallow copy? So shallow copy means both the objects, or let's say when you're doing a shallow copy, both the objects are referring to the same sorry, both the variables refer to the same object space, same address space. Understood? That's why even updating any data, it will reflect on both. You can also draw something like this and explain them. Yeah, makes sense. The concept is shallow copy. Understood? And when it comes to deep copy, when it comes to deep copy, so what you can do is, let's say you had a C equal to same kind, for example, 1 comma 2 comma 3, for example. Uh, so for doing deep copy, what we there is no direct method available. So we have to import copy. Okay, here you should say C dot uh, copy dot. Now, how many methods are there? See here, you are seeing two things, right? Copy dot copy. So normal copy means this is the one. Uh, when you want to do a deep copy, so you'll understand. So deep copy of C. So here, what really mean is in this case. So this is a shallow copy, right? This is shallow copy. Understood? Now, when it comes to deep copy, namespace and jet space. Guys, it's not about the big space, big P, a small p. It's like a normal only. I just oh, jet space. That's fine. Right here. So here, what will happen when I do a import copy? Copy. So C is what? C is pointing to 1 to 3, right? So here, copy here, and what is this? C. C is pointing to this. Understood? So when it comes to deep copy, so D equal to deep copy of C. You got it? So when it comes to deep copy, what it does is it creates a separate copy for D. Understood? Hey, don't do a normal shallow copy. Instead, do a deep copy, which means that it creates another space for this. What is that name? D. Guys, now you understood, right? Now what really happened in the deep copy? It creates. See, in one word, what you can say is in shallow copy. In shallow copy, both the variables, if you do a shallow copy, both the variables will be referred to the same address space. When it comes to deep copy, both the variables refer to the different address space, object space, by looking at it. See, in the shallow copy, both the objects A and B, both the objects are referred to the same address space or object space. In deep copy, both the objects are referred to different space, different object space. You got it? You can explain this style only. Okay, you can also if there is a question, you can take on opportunity. See, when it comes to a shallow copy, let's say if I define A and B, A equal to B, for example, right? like with a short example, let's say you can use you can for example, let's say if you don't remember this, right, you can also say you can still use copy method, import copy, and a dot sorry, copy dot copy. You can do that way also. For shallow copy, this is a shallow copy in general. So alternative to this is alternative to this is, so uh, put one more, three, three. So you can do above, or you can say import copy. So you should also say a equal to 1 comma 2 comma 3, and instead of b equal to a, you can write like copy of what, a. That's it. It creates a shallow copy. Alternative to above. Alternative to above is this. Guys, makes sense, huh? Or you got confused? You fine? Or you still need any explanation? Hmm? All right, you fine with this? Okay, got it. Yeah, makes sense. Because this is also one of the interview questions, so you can even find it. You can take anything, that's fine. But this, like in one go you understood, right? One go you understood with shallow copy and deep copy, is it? So simply deep means it creates separate one. Shallow means both are pointing to the same reference. You got it? Now what I'll do is in this, for example, let's say I have done a deep copy. Now if I change, let's say c dot extend, right? I want to extend with let's say 10, 20, and 30, for example. And after say after deep copy, sorry uh, after extend, right? Not deep copy. After extend uh, C and D values. So print, no, it would be fine if it is inside the print statement. Say print C and print D. Got it? If I go and trigger this, what did you observe? See, C equal to 1 to 3, deep copy. Yeah. Why? Because you updated only this one, right? We updated only this one, and the other one is still what? Since it's a deep copy, right? Since it is a different address space. So if you update particular one, then it only updates to that respective object. You got it? Yeah. Even when you want to implement this similar feature in dictionaries, still you can do it. So here, when it comes to this, so there's a shallow copy. Let's try to implement similar thing for dictionary. Let me quickly create another file, dist file. Okay. So here, say my dict equal to dictionary of 1 colon 20 and 2 colon 30, for example. And what I'll be doing is I'll be importing import copy, right? So when you do a copy dot, let's say new dict equal to, so what I'll be doing is I'll be doing a copy dot copy, and I'll be copying my dict. You got it? So here in this case, my dict and other dict both are referring to the same address space. Got it? So now after this, update my dict. Now, right. So if I say my dict dot update, I'm updating with some, I'm extending with, let's say, 3:40, for example, and say print after dict update, say print, so my dict and print new dict, for example. So let's go ahead and trigger this. Okay, so what did you see? So see in the dictionaries, this is not working, guys. Why? Actually, in general, shallow and deep copy should work actually in general in dictionaries. But even they're saying they're claiming that somehow it's not working. Right? So even I had to go back and do it. But in general, so when we were working on the dictionary part in the real time, right, we always do a deep copy because we don't want to, we want to we want to have a separate, separate object space for that particular one. So what we do is whenever we were importing, let's say, for example, there is a dictionary. One second. So let me create some constants, right? So here, for example, I define this dictionary. Okay, and so from constants import my dictionary. Okay, and if you import immediately, let's try to print it, my dict, right? So if you go and print it, this even somehow, somehow it is not really working shallow copy because I thought it does the same thing for both, and I don't see any I don't see any uh, anything working out in this shallow copy, but it works exactly like a deep copy. You understood? All right. But in general, mhm, sure. So in general, for example, let's say we need to let's say one user is submitting form, right? Let me quickly demonstrate that quickly. Let's say user is sending profile data, for example. Let the user is signing up, right? Right. So we will get username. So by default, what we do is we will set it to, by default to none or empty. Username, first name, username, and for example, email, right? So by default, uh, so this is a skeleton, okay? None, email, and let's say address, none. All right. In the real time, how we do is, so here is the data, right? And this data will be provided by the user from the front end. Understood? And from front end, what they do, well, they will be sending this data. Meaning, in the UI, from UI, what they'll do is, as soon as user enters the data in the form, first name, last name, email address, and all the information, right? So what we do is, let me take another one quickly. Uh, Right, right. No, no, that's fine. So let me give us a very basic one so that everyone understands. Yeah. So here in this case, in the constants, I had a data. So this is a by defaultly, this is a default data, for example, and this data will be updated. This is a skeleton. Understood. So here, user sends. So what data he has sent? Let's say he has sent in the form of, for example, in the here username, for example, Kumar Makala, and he sent what is the other one? Email and address, right? Okay, email. So this data I got from kmakala@xyz.com. Understood. And what is the other one? So address. Address is, let's say he sent some first aid Hyderabad, for example. You got it? So user sends this in general. But when you want to update, right? When you want to when you want to insert this data into the database, so we don't directly say like insert data into database. Directly we don't do this. Okay. Instead, what we will be doing is, so we should import that data from constant import data. We got it. So once we have the data, now I'll keep updating the data. So I'll say new data equal to, I'll make a deep copy of it. Data dot, so, sorry, we should import copy, right? And then we'd say copy dot deep copy of data. Understood? This is the new data. So now what we will do is, for now we will loop through the user sender. Like let's say user submits. Okay. Now before updating, because see I will not allow user to send everything, right? What I'll do, I'll take the data from the user, whatever he sent, and I'll check with that key. I will I'll take this is my skeleton of the database. For example, my database required only three keys, for example, three columns, for example. So here, how many he has sent? This is fine. If you send like additionally fields, for example, let's say his age, gender, all the other information, right? So but for this particular use case, we don't need it. So what we do is, we do like this: copy dot dip copy, and before updating it, let's say next what I'll do is, for item in users sense, right? And if, so I would say if username present, let's say if username. So how we can check whether username is present in this dictionary or not? Any volunteer here? If you want to check whether, perfect, membership checking, right? In operator, in user send. If it's available, then what you need to do? You need to update, right? You need to update user data of username equal to. So here, one as mentioned. So the other use case we are discussing, right? When you are fetching information from the data from the internet, what you supposed to be doing? If you will use with accessing value with the key or with the get method, who can tell me? If you use normal key, then you'll get a issue, right? That's why we will use get method. Now, did you understood the right use case? Yeah, Priyanka, you got it, right? if email in users, now I'm checking. So second one, if email in user sends, if it is available, then only you have to update. New data of new data of email, right? Equal to user sends dot get, what is that? Email. Make sense? Right. Elif. Next, what is the next one? The last one is address, right? If address in sends, right? Then new data, that how we do? One second, I'm getting calls. That's fine. Yep. So new data, we have to update address equal to user sends dot get address. Make sense? Yes. Did you understood now how we were working with this dictionary methods? Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So now after all, just say print. Now we will use this. We will use this. In the real time. Use data for inserting into the DB. Now, did you understood why we have used it? See, you might be thinking that, hey, why this is required? Copy dot did copy and all that. Because see, this would tell me what are the fields are available. You got it? And in this case, for example, let's say, think about this. If address is there, then fine. Like someone, oh, who's that? All right. So use new data for inserting into DB. Why? And one more important thing. See, for example, let's say if user might send, let's say for example, to the user, right? We would allow user to send username and email address. And let's say address is optional, for example. So in this case, now what we can do, if address is not sent, let's say here address is there. This is fine. If I go ahead and let's say for print new data, right? If I trigger this, it is clear that, did you see this? Kumar Makala, email none, address none. Did you see what happened? For item, see, for item in this, it is clear. One go it went and it came out. See, for item in user sends. So user sends, how many items are there? It will go to the loop. But did you see these two are not updated? Who can catch it? Always see guys. Did you observe this? Always this getting updated. You got it? See, whenever it reaches this, always it is only what we can say. The first loop, it comes and checks if username in this user sends. It is existing, right? Second time also, username in user sends. Like it loops for three times, but three times it updated only this guy. Did you understand? So there is a wrong in the code. In order to make it work for everything, then what we have to set? We have to, instead of elif, we should make only simple if. Guys, did you understand now? Clear? Huh? So this time it would check everything properly. So it checks. One second. I'll make like this so that for you it will be more clear. Now this is clear. Huh? It checks if username in user sends. Yes. Go and update this. Go and get the data from the user sense. Go and get the data from user sense and store them into the username. Got it? And second, so if email address in the user sense, it checks. Got it? Meaning here we are strictly checking. So previously what happened? It skipped because it always the first condition is true. No, if in the if and the elif statements, if any one is true, then it skips the remaining things, right? So that's where it skipped the first one completely. So it executes the first one completely and skip the remaining two. Makes sense, huh? Clear? Now it updated. This strictly check, strictly checking everything. So that's where, right? So when you do a elif, what would happen? If any one block is getting true, remaining will be skipped only. No, you still remember, right? You don't. Did you guys forget? No, is it? When what happened? You got silent. No, you find. No, you understood. All right. How about Aparna? All right, guys. This is the one of the this is one of the important thing we do actually in the real time. And imagine now in the same statement, for example, if there is no user is not sent you know address, okay, and if you see if user is not sent, what did you see here? It got updated for address, for our address field. It is trying to user sends dot get address, right? Did you see here? Since address is not there, so what it does is, so if you instead of this get method, if you use normally open and close bracket like this, accessing the key and value pair, for example, with the key, so it would cry. So where it is? Once again. So here user sends of address. If address in this, no, what happened here? Once again, user send. Oh, okay, got it. See what would happen here? Once again. No, 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 no. It should fail, right? Because user sent of address. So here address is not defined. So it should raise a key error. You got it? Ideally, it should raise key error. Why it's not raising? New data user sends, right? Python behaves weirdly sometimes. We need to once again. Let's quickly try here. It should fade because if key is not present, right? Line number 7, it should cry. Did you see? It's crying for here. This crying. Hmm. There's a sense of if address in this address is present, right? Oh, if address. So okay, got it. See what happened. I'll tell you. See, if since it is not there, right? So what we are doing, we are making, right. Uh, it is not even reached at this point. Meaning it reached, but when it comes to this condition is true or false. In this case, it's false, right? If it is false, what happened? It skipped. Understood? If it when the data is not there, when the data is not there from the UI, so that's why we are doing a skeleton here. Now, did you understood? If user is not there, so what we have done here, we have done copy dot deep copy, right? Copy dot deep copy, which means that if you print this new dictionary, by default it would comes with the data. So here, new data is Got it? So by default, new data comes with default address none. You would understand. Oh, sorry, line number 7 still it is there, right? I need to wipe it out. Yeah, done. Guys, did you see this? What is new data? So by default, it is the whatever it is coming from the constants, right? Same data it has. You understood? So what we have done here is we updated in the programmatically we updated two. So since these two conditions got true, that's why it updated username and email. Understood? It updated username and email. Since it is not reaching this point, since this condition got failed, there was no update has taken place. So that's why, since by default it is already having none, right? That's where it is coming none. Guys, you understood, huh? You might be thinking that, hey, how come address is added? Because we have done deep copy. You got it? When it comes to deep copy, what it does, it takes a complete copy of that particular object and stores the information in the say, whatever the information we copied, it should be available. For example, let's say if I go here, add one more. For example, age is 25. So I have done a deep copy. But if you see here, I didn't even talk about anything age here. You got it? But still, when you print new data, so since the original data or original dictionary having additional one more field age, right? Go on trigger. You would see. Did you see this? Though we have updated username and email address, and even this address not there, right? But still, it is having age. Yes, you understood, huh? So it is very, very helpful when we want to see when you, for example, think about this scenario, right? For users, we will allow to enter something, and in the background, we will set some default data. Default data in the sense if user is not entered, for example. So if user is not entered, think about this. Okay, think about fresher salary. Fresher joined to a company, for example. For all freshers, right? So what is their salary actually? Something fixed, right? In company, so we will set some default value. Let's say his salary is 3,50,000. Now, did you understood? So when as soon as fresher join, for example, now we want to release the offer letter to the fresher candidate, for example. See, in the form, think about the scenario. In the form, if you are not sending, let's say you are sending only user details here, and if you don't send user salary, or if you don't send user address. So, for example, if you are not sending user address in the form, right? By default, I want to set company address. You got it? Let's say, and even if when you're looking at the UI, in the UI, there are certain fields it would mark as star, which means that hey, it's a mandatory field. You have to fill it. You got it? And there are certain fields where it is like optional, meaning it like user can decide whether they want to submit that information or they're free to not fill any data into this, right? In that particular case, let's say, for example, address, right? Company address, how the new employee knows. So it is not mandatory. So what users join, so he'll fill out he enters the username, I'll enter the email address, for example, and age is fine, that's okay. And address, company address, for example, some XYZ address, that's okay. And salary is, did you see this? Salary, it's a default data. So likewise in the form, whatever the data it is there, it can be optional, it can be mandatory. So what we do is, whenever there's optional, we will set some default data in the background. During the application implementation, we will have a strategy thinking of freshers experience on every other person's. Understood? So for example, let's say when you are experienced, then let's say, so think about the fresher scenario now. Let's say for a fresher, they send this data. And if I go and trigger this, you can get all the by default salary is what? 3,50,000. And think about the other scenario where experience joined, okay, experience joined, but they're also sending the data salary here. For experience, it should be some different number, right? Salary colon, let's say 45 lakhs, for example, right? So now what will happen? By default, see, by default, for if you are not sending, it would consider this the data, right? And if you are sending it, for example, then if you so in this case, what will happen? If you are sending it, but in the application you have to handle it, right? If you don't handle it, what happens? It takes the default data from constants, 3,50,000 only. Why? Because you're not checking, right? You're not checking and updating the salary information. So let's check that out. You got it? Still, you got the previous data only. So in order to get the new data, you have to handle it, correct? You have to check salary also. If someone run through me, you run alone, huh? Just kidding. Guys, did you understood how I'm working? Got it? Now, since I added one more, so if I trigger this now it would. Did you see? This is a default default data in the constants, and after this program update, it cleanly updates whenever there is a person. You got it? Yeah. If you're that's what when you're designing the application, they would clearly tell you, hey, okay, so user must send. These are the mandatory fields that user must fill, and these are the optional fields. Also, they will give you the value. So if it is optional, they also give you okay. What is the what is the default value we should set? For example, let's say if the value is not set. For example, in this case, salary is this for fresher case. And in some other scenario, think about VPP, variable pay, for example. When you look at payslip, right, you will come to see all the information, right? So imagine by default we set 0. If variable pay, let's say they can send, let's say after discussion with the candidate, so they can discuss with the candidate, hey, a candidate will claim that, hey, no, I'm not okay with variable pay. If it is fixed, then I'll okay, for example, right? Then if you execute this, see here, variable pay also came. So, and after this, even user, right? For example, if user accepts for variable pay a 10% of it, for example, right? What is the variable pay, right? Variable. So let's say user decides 10%, for example. You got it? Now what you need to do? You need to apply, right? You need to apply 10% of the variable pay, correct? Right? So now how we can you need to do some calculation, right? Let's say variable pay, if variable in user sense, if it is available in user sense, for example, right? Then what you have to do? New data? No, right? You cannot do, correct? So if variable pay is decided, for example, what we need to do? We need to calculation, right? So variable equal to. So how we can do a percentage? Salary, right? Whatever the salary that we get, for example, this is salary, right? 10%. So how this can be calculated into percentage? 10 by 100, is it? Got it? Yeah. And here we should say, guys, you understood, huh? See, based on data, we also need to perform some operations, right? We got it? Equal to, let's say value, for example, value equal to this, and we are updating value to this. Yeah, makes sense. And trigger this. I think we should set like this. Yeah, got it. So variable pay, how much we sent actually here? 10, huh? And it becomes 0. How this becomes 0? What is the salary here? Okay, this is very big number. Makes sense. And when we are, what we are planning, oh, okay. No, 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 no. Got it. See, there is a mistake I made, right? So what I had to do, see, when I want to play with this, whatever the user sends the data, right? I have to use user sends data instead of new data. New data means what? New data means what? It is like default value. Yeah, new data means what? It is a constant data. Constant data is what? Zero. Variable is zero. So zero into anything is zero only. Right? Right. Let's do that. Oh, come on. What happened? User sends salary into uh 10 division by 100. No, this isn't current, huh? What happened? Variable. Oh, spelling mistake. Typo, right? Did, did someone see that? There's a typo, right? BLE, L missing. Okay, so let's execute that. Got it. And so what is the variable? This is a number, correct? Right, 10%. So then what? No, no, the number should be variable means variable pay. So this one, I think this is fine, right? I think, yeah, this is good. Now total salary. So this way, like this way, you can do a calculation. You got it? Variable pay, fixed pay. For example, in this case, if you want to, if you know now, if you want to understand about the fixed pay, now like this, we should update the logic. Let's say fixed pay. If fixed now, what we need to do is we need to update this fixed pay, and fixed pay it will not come from there. Instead, what we do is new data of fixed pay equal to now. So what we should do, whatever user salary minus fixed pay, right? Minus variable component, isn't it? So here, no, for example, no, I'm not giving exact thing, but it is an example. You got it? I just want to do some operation and then print it there. Yeah. Now if you see the last thing also added. Yeah, makes sense, huh, guys? Right. No, this is how we work on the this is how we work on the dictionaries. So dictionaries are very critical actually when it comes to the development aspect. So we use a lot because whatever data which we were getting from the UI, right? So that is completely into a dictionary format. So playing with the dictionary, understanding dictionaries are very critical. Understood? And if something, let's say, as mentioned, so we need to work on understanding things like what data, like what data we might get. Let's say if user is sending some bad data, let's say email address, right? User is sending email address. Let's say email address in this. And before doing anything, what we have to do? See, email address, we cannot blindly take it from the user, is it? We need to do a whether email address is valid or not, isn't it? We have to check, right? We have to check whether the email address is valid or not. If it is a valid email address, then only we had to allow him to do any actions. Is it? We cannot take blindly whatever data he is sending. Right? We cannot take data blindly. Understood? Instead, what we had to do, we had to do a validation. Yeah, we will have upcoming session on that, so it would be easy there. But before that, we should have a sound understanding of how these dictionaries are being used when it comes to real name. This is a very top level basic understanding. Did you enjoy this pace? Clear, huh? Like Molly, you're fine with it, is it? Mm-hmm. And any questions from anyone in this?